my life, you still not a player, you ain't half as nice. I'm born again, life after death. I made the sacrifice, I'm super duper fly. Used to keep them hypnotized. I said my name is Juice, America's most. Ain't no half stepping, see you at the crossroads.
Money over on my hairstyle. Here lies them getting paid for. Never take a loss on my hairstyle. Only take a when I'm dead. I be gang 3 times on my hairstyle. Been from the cradle to the grave.
Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Miami Dolphins and the Oakland Raiders. 3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. And a good effort on a return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. A first carry now for Jordan Howard. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
On first, they go right back to Howard. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Cordray Tankersley on the stop defensively.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
This is Howard on 2nd down. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Gone, gone! Gone, gone! They'll try to run for it with Howard. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Detroit! Detroit! On 1st down, they run with Howard. And he's got some space here. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game. And it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
He lost 6 there on the 1st down play. On 2nd down, here's Lynch. Throw taken in by Taylor, left side. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 18 yards there, and it'll be a first and goal. The Raiders into the red zone for the first time. They've got a first and goal from the 10-yard line. On first and goal, Howard. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up second and goal.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on second and goal. He's going to get it running right. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long third and goal. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Lynch with it on third and goal. And he fires one, but incomplete.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
Here's Randy Bullock now as he'll go for the field goal. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Bullock will put this one through, and the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, Parker, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
Sony Michel, his first carry. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on second and 12. They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. And it's Reuben Foster in on the tackle.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. On fourth down, on is Dustin Colquitt to kick this away. Back deep, Khalif Raymond. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. It's taken to the 26. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Raiders will take over now first and 10. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Now Ledge to throw. That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
Watch it now, Barney!
On 3rd down, that's Hines. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the 1st quarter of play. Ready to go now in the 2nd quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. And they've got it here with a 1st down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st. On 1st and 10, it's Lynn. Wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. Down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st.
Watch it now, Barney!
From the gun, it's Lynch. Throw right side is into the hands of his tight end, Everett. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. His first catch, good for 9 and a 1st down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to run.
They'll throw on 1st down with Lynch. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. On the handoff, this is Howard. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Out of the gun, Lynch. Open man is Westbrook, complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. They've got another 1st down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. Throwing here, Lynch on 1st down. And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. In for the score. And the Raiders add on to their lead. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They begin on the ground with Kamara. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. They find Randall Cobb with a completion. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. A good pick up there of 20 yards. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Rodgers now on 1st down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Gordon. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. And a nice gain of 21 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory, right at the 40. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And an alley to run. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Michel. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
First foray into the red zone for Miami. They've got it 1st and goal at the 7. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. James O'Shaughnessy, his first touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins able to get this back within a touchdown.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody, but those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
very reliable. The defense just has to hate those guys.
This drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have you either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
Zerline out now to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
On first down, it's Lynch. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Lynch. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Dayon Buchanan. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. He has just been a load for opposing offenses to account for now. 8 interceptions on the year.
I love that number because I always think of center field. You know, when I hear 8, because that's the position you write in the scorecard in baseball. And what do good center fielders do? Take away all the alleys, right? They range deep and make a whole lot of great catches.
Now Rodgers. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. A give. This is Michel. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. A 4-yard pickup that gets him going forward, but still 15 yards left on 3rd down. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Over the middle, complete. It's Gordon. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. Working from the gun, Rodgers, and nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Rodgers throwing again. And a hit jarring it loose. It's incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the 1st half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
That's fine, yeah. Hey, check 26. Zoom.
And again, it's Rodgers. His throw caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down with the 1st down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Rodgers to throw once more. Being chased out left. And he'll be forced out of bounds shy of the line of scrimmage, so that'll be credited as a sack. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. And they will run it with Michel. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Sony Michel with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Dolphins are in for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Here comes Rodgers now as he'll go for the 2-point conversion. Here's a toss coming right. And he got it on the touchdown run, but he won't get in here. He'll be stopped short, and they'll come up empty on the try for 2. Zuerlein out now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Lucky 56. Gone.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. To the right side, complete to Taylor. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half.
Detroit! Gone! Watch him now, Barney! All right, now, lucky 56! Hey, watch that! Check, Mike! Detroit! Let's go!
Now Lynch on 1st down. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. A big play there as the first half is winding down. And the Raiders are able to cash in for 6. So they're able to capture the lead here just before halftime.
And not only that, they get the ball to start the second half.
That's right.
This is almost like basketball down the stretch, right, where you get the 2-for-1 situation where you try and get 2 shots to your opponent's 1. In this situation, they got the touchdown. They'll get another shot at to start the second half.
Could be a big turnaround. Bullock out now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
On first down, Rodgers. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Here we go. 58. 319.
Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. He's going to float this over the middle deep. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And he will be out of bounds as time has run out on this first half. So we've reached halftime here in Oakland with the Raiders on top. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively, just not able to get anything going. So what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis.
319.
They start the second half with Michelle on the ground. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Raiders have recovered. Well, they came out of the locker trailing. Not a good way to start this second half with their first drive.
Can't imagine that the discussion at halftime encompassed this at all. In fact, I'm sure they talked about, okay, kind of wipe the slate clean, start the second half, and let's go out and play the way we know that we can. That's not a great example of it.
They didn't envision that. Following the fumble recovery, here's Lynch. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off at the 14. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. He sets to fire deep. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw again. Rodgers on the left side. Gallup's got it. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That one goes for 24 yards.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
That's fine.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a pitch out to Michelle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 46.
Hey, 626.
Play action. Now it's Rodgers. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Rodgers now to throw again. Incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. Now look out. Rodgers lost the football, and the Raiders have recovered.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. Now it's Hines. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
They pitch out to Howard. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Gone!
Throwing on 1st down. Lynch. And he'll find Everett there, complete. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. Gerald Everett, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Bullock out now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And out come the Dolphins now. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Daniil Hunter in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
I'm not sure, Brandon, we've seen a sloppier played game this year for a team on offense. Turn it over 4 times and expect to win? No chance whatsoever. And look, I have no idea what the ratio is about turnover 4 times and how that correlates to winning or losing, but I'll guarantee you it's not very good.
A give to Howard. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On second down, here's Lynch. That's into the hands of Westbrook over the middle. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. The Raiders on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
And Bullock will put this one through, and that will get the lead up to 14. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. On second down, here's Rodgers. To Michelle on the dump off. And he spins past him and into space. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A Miami first down on the 14-yard pickup.
We always fences and how complicated that is. Well, the pressure and get to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running with the
football? Without a doubt, because he's right near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Rodgers now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. Throwing now is Rodgers. And Rodgers intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 28. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. They go with Howard to begin the drive. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. Back now in the East Bay. It's the Raiders would get ready to start quarter number 4. Again, it's Howard. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. They go play action with Lynch. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A good pickup there, a 22. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Lynch now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And intercepted, maybe the turning point they need. Picked off inside the 5. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Dalvin Tomlinson in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. To throw is Rodgers. Operating from the gun. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Gordon. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. To throw is Rodgers. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
319.
Now Rodgers got to have this one. He's going to wind up and air it out. And no, it's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. Thank goodness, that means this next drive is going to begin first and goal already at the 5-yard line. Now, this is a nice little gift wrap situation as they take over first and goal.
Watch him now, Barney. Barney.
They run with Howard. And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. Jordan Howard, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Raiders add on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Bullock. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Bullock out now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Well, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Hey. Got three. Three down.
On first and 10, here's Rodgers. And that is incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Second and 10 now from the 27. Rodgers will try again on second down. He'll check this one down to Michel. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. They'll get a couple yards on that one. And all of a sudden here, it's third down.
That's fine. Yeah.
Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. Here's Dustin Colquitt now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. Now, fair catch is called for and taken at the, we'll call it the 37-yard line. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
This is Hines. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Right back to him on first down. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. The tackle made there by Dayon Buchanan.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Running with Howard. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Hey. 4 down.
Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Now it's Lynch. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. That's their first time getting to the quarterback, sack number 1. And, you know, they had 5 last week, I'm remembering.
And you have to find a way to slow down the pass rush, not necessarily with just protecting your quarterback, but you show them a lot of different looks, and they did that in the first half. You know, different angles, different things to slow down the speed. They got to him here in the second half. Now they've got to come up with a counter to that and maybe do something different.
And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Then the Dolphins getting set to go here. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Hey, 50.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to let it fly. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to 3rd down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
On the check down, he finds Kamara. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And this is Ertz with it, right side. But no reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Rodgers. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football, and the Raiders pick it up, 20.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes, but it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Raiders, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move to 8-5. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the New England Patriots.